Hello, hello, hello. This is an Ask a Comedian Anything kind of a stream. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see if anybody actually comes on and if I'm aware you're on. Basically, I have all this stuff which I used to use. I had all these, so if you see, I've got my computer all set up over here. Is that visible? No, that's not visible. How do I show it? Yeah, so I had my computer all set up because back in the pandemic days, I used to actually subscribe to this service, which let me stream on multiple platforms, right? So I could stream on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, all at the same time. And I decided, oh, I forgot to plug in my microphone. I hope the sound is good. It will upgrade suddenly as I plug it in. But anyway, I used to stream on all these channels, and today I was doing that thing which everybody should do, where you look through all the things you've subscribed to, and you start canceling subscriptions. Literally, I was still paying for my old gym, right? I was paying for my old gym from ages ago. I was paying for a food service I no longer use where they send you fresh food, which is maybe has still been being delivered to my old flat. So I was doing that thing and I was deleting all the stuff I don't use anymore. And one of the things which came up for me to delete was Restream, which is the streaming platform, right? And so as I was looking at that, I was like, let me use it one more time, see if it's worth keeping. Yes, Suhai, I am that guy who was on BGT. I am currently about to do a Ask Me Anything stream. So you can ask me any questions. Okay, so we've got the mic enabled. Is the sound better? Is the sound better? How is that? How's that sound? Now, to the people on the other platforms I'm streaming, I have no idea if it's working. Testing, testing, testing. If you are seeing me on these other channels, please do chat so that I can see if this is working. Is this working? Hello, hello. Do you see me? Do you see me? If you're seeing me on any of the others, this is a test to see whether it's worth keeping this technology. Please do message me. So, number one question, do I believe in Jesus, says Elis Solam. This is a very heavy question, and yes, I do. I do believe that Jesus existed. I believe that he was a prophet. I believe that he was a person who brought forth the global understanding of the world for it. Yes, yes, I did. But usually people are asking me about random things. So someone's asking me, when is the financial crisis? I'm assuming you want me to quote my joke when I say in the UK, this isn't a financial crisis. It'll be a financial crisis when there are planes flying over Liverpool, tossing fish and chips out the window. It'll be a financial crisis when India starts opening call centers here. That's probably what you're referring to. But yes, that was the joke which got me well known. Somebody asked me, am I a Muslim? No, I am a Baha'i. I'm a Baha'i, but at the same time, I respect your prophet because Baha'is believe in all the manifestations and all of the prophets. This is a very religious, maybe it's because the Pope was just elected. This is more religious than the questions I usually get. Usually the questions I get are very silly. So well, hello, hello, hello. Now, those of you who are watching from YouTube and from Twitch, I don't see your messages. Just send a test message. I actually seem to remember that I meant to have another window open which has Restream chat. And I've forgotten how to do that. It's been so many years since I did it. So mainly I'm here for the TikTok people. I will figure out the rest of you. Ask me questions, whatever you want. Do I still swap? This man who just asked me if I still swap is referring to the fact that I used to do a joke saying, thou shalt not swap, not that I am a wife swapper. I've never been a wife swapper. Dana Carr says, do I live in Malawi or in England? I live in England. I'm currently in Manchester. Which is why there's a very low chance of power cut. If I was in Malawi, there'd be a very high chance of power cut. Arsonist says, you're struggling with depression right now. Please give you an advice. Okay, that's a huge question. I'm probably not equipped to answer and solve your problems with depression, but what I would suggest is, number one, you need the support of other people. So tell your friends, tell your family. If you don't have anyone to tell, there's services like the Samaritans you can call and talk to. But the main thing I would say is try to find a purpose, something important that you love, that you can pour your passion into, because I think that is the number one thing that helps you deal with depression. I used to be a depressed person when I was much younger, and then I found comedy, I found writing, and I put in all my effort into that, and then it helped deal with that. Crazy Tranmere. Oh, you think you interrupted my date. Did you meet me outside a stadium with two women? That wasn't a date. That was hanging out with two friends. I think you're fine. I think you're fine. Do not worry. I could not date two women at the same time. I don't think you interrupted my date. Hello, people. How are you doing? Yes, I'm all right. I'm all right. Hello, people who are watching me on Instagram and YouTube. I cannot see your messages. I do not know how to see your messages. I think I should have opened a different app, which is called Restream Chat. Aha! Okay, I'm loading it now. Oh, I have to download for Windows. I'll sort you out tomorrow if I stream again tomorrow. You will just have to watch me answer questions of the TikTokers. Hello, people. How many platforms am I streaming on tonight? So I am testing whether I should delete my Restream app. So I'm on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitch. I could have added Facebook, but my biggest audience is actually on Facebook. So I wanted to make sure I've got the tech working well before I also stream there. So I'm just all over the place. This is just answering questions. This isn't one of the, like yesterday I did a thing where I was talking on a theme. Today it's just a Q&A. So I've got a question from Reese says, what's my favorite joke or one-liner? I did a joke about how I moved to the UK. I was tricked by a right-wing group. This is my favorite joke I wrote. I was tricked by a right-wing group called the British National Party, who put out a newsletter which said that immigrants are taking all the good jobs, all the good women. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's my favorite joke, which I wrote, which is a one-liner, because it's playing with their ignorance and toying with them. They hate that joke. Alfue asks, how many years has it been since Britain's Got Talent? It's been 8 years. It was 2017. So it's been a very long time. Since then, I have been doing a lot of tours. I've done 3 comedy specials you can check out online. Or if you have Apple TV, you can get them on Apple TV or on Prime Video, depending on where you are. They're on a lot of platforms. The big one is called What the African Said. That's the high budget one. But the most recent one is my favorite, Apocalypse Not Now, but it's filmed a little less bombastically. But yes, I do gigs every day. I gig like a crazy man. Today I didn't gig, but I've recorded a podcast. How do you not know this? It's out there. Check it out. It's a very funny podcast. But I'm always doing radio or podcasts or doing comedy gigs or writing all the time. Entertainment is actually a full-time job, which is what some people think away. Phil, have I seen your brother Grant anywhere? I am not sure who your brother is, Phil. Hello, people who are watching me on other platforms. I do not know how to see your messages. I need to download some extra thing. So if you want to communicate with me, you need to be on TikTok. If you just want to watch, you can watch me on Instagram or YouTube or Twitch. I just need to get the tech working, or just delete it, because I discovered this because I was deleting stuff I've been paying for. And would you believe that since the pandemic, I've been paying for Restream platforms and I don't restream. So I should get rid of it unless I find it useful. Do I like Roy Chubby Brown? Not really. I mean, he's a different age of comedy, but I'd also say I've not seen a full show of his. So I've just seen, like, someone sent me him do like a song about getting rid of the immigrants, and I was like, I don't know how you think I, an immigrant, I'm gonna love that. But clearly, he's got a big fan base. I just performed in Bolton, and I saw he had a big poster, so he's gonna be there soon. Um, Oh, your brother was on EastEnders. I've never watched EastEnders, so I've not seen your brother. Hello, people. How is comedy in Africa compared to the UK? It's less financially stable, unfortunately. Somebody has asked, how is comedy in Africa compared to the UK? So I am much more well known in Africa, like by far. So why do I live in the UK? It doesn't make sense, does it? You live in a place where you are less well known, you've got less opportunities because there's less stability. To make entertainment work, you need people to have a high enough level of income that they can spend money frequently going out to watch entertainment. You need also companies who will be able to pay the entertainers for their work. I am owed money for shows I did in Uganda. Owed money for shows I did in Kenya. Uh, I think those are the only ones which haven't paid. But still, I'm just saying, when I do shows in Africa, there's more of a risk. Uh, I've done shows that have flopped in certain African countries, but also I've done ones which do really well. So it's just less stable, but they're amazing comedians. There's a lot of potential, and hopefully it will reach its full potential, because some places in Africa, like Nigeria and South Africa, now have booming comedy circuits, which has led to the rise of amazing talents like Basket Mouth, like Trevor Noah, like Loiso Gola. There's so many amazing African comedians, but we just need to get the business working. So people can be paid for making us laugh. Ask me more questions. Last time you asked me about Louis C.K. and so somebody says, last time you asked me about Louis C.K. and Dave Chappelle. Today's what's my take on Patrice O'Neill. Again, he was very beloved. I believe his special elephant in the room is a lot of comedians' favorite ones. I mean, he's a bit of a like harsh comedian for me. He's not one of my favorites, but his skill is undeniable, and I really enjoyed him on things like Tough Crowd. He was very funny in how he would interact with other comedians and roast them, and so on and so forth. But yes, brilliant man who passed away too young, of course. Hey, any shows near Manchester anytime soon? So not till around June. I'm doing shows in London this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to go start doing comedy on cruise ships all the way till mid-June. Then I'll be back in Manchester. So nothing in Manchester for a while, but keep your eyes on the listings. And I will inevitably be at Frog and Bucket or Creatures, because I develop a lot of material there. And I have to develop a lot of material because my next tour is next year, and I've written around 15 minutes, and I need to get that to 90 minutes. So I'm not worried. That's very achievable. I always, let's say I write an average of 10 minutes of jokes per month. That means I've got more than enough time. Well, 10 minutes of good stuff. So 10 minutes of good stuff means you try out 30 minutes, you get rid of the stuff which is mediocre. 10 minutes of good stuff per month, I'll be done in time. But it's still stressful. Hello, people. Hello, people. I think I'm going to delete the Restream, because on TikTok, I'm currently being watched by 61 people, and there've been 1,500 people during this. On the other streams, I see there are 2 people on YouTube. You're much appreciated. And there are 5 people on Twitch. And somehow TikTok is become the live center. How the mighty have fallen. Hello, Joe. Hello, Joe. You are not Lenny Henry. I know Lenny Henry quite well, and he does not look like you, but hello, the other Lenny. Let me take a look in my WhatsApp if Lenny Henry is actually. Yes, you are not the real Lenny Henry. The real Lenny Henry would message me. Hello, people. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Joe Kelly. Hey, people who are joining. Ask me questions. Mm. If you are the real Lenny Henry, tell me your real name. Actually, you could Google that. If you're the real Lenny Henry, tell me the name of the WhatsApp group that you are in with me and a few other black comedians. In fact, or just tell me one of the other comedians in the WhatsApp group with us. There you go. Yes, I am the guy who does our museums a laughing matter. Okay, so I've got a question from Supernatural 234576 asks, how do I get a girlfriend? Okay. How old are you? I don't know how old you are, but it's pretty consistent. You need to approach people who you find attractive. You need to express that you are interested in them. You need to try to be make yourself attractive to them. So, whatever that is, whether you're 18, yes, so you're probably in the prime of your life, but like, go to the gym, make yourself look good, get a good haircut, dress well, approach, be honest, be vulnerable, be confident, and good luck to you. I mean, I'm currently between girlfriends, so why am I giving advice? I broke up with someone in November, and I am yet to well, I've gone on dates, but I'm yet to have a new girlfriend. Hello, hello, hello. Um, Lenny Henry is not coming on a live at 9 past midnight. Definitely not. But it's a nice idea. Hello, people who are joining. Hello. Ask me questions. Hmm. Oh, you want me to let you into the live, but you're not the Lenny Henry I know, so I wouldn't do that. Um, Hello, people who are joining. No, no, no. He would not make me laugh. He would say something offensive and think that that's funny. That's not my sense of humor. If you are the one I know, tell me one of the other comedians who is in the Black WhatsApp group with us. Okay, hey, you've been watching that podcast with Dom. Hope it picks up. I think so too. I think it's a very funny podcast. What is being mentioned by Hades 456 is that I have a podcast with the guy called Dom Haddon Woods, who's a comedian and TikToker, and a comedian called Tony Vino, and we talk about uh, things that one of us, the youngest one of us, is ignorant about. It's kind of similar to I've never seen Star Wars or something like that. If you know that podcast where they have guests who've not done something normal, which most people have, except for this one. We've got one person who's just not doesn't know much about the world, and us two older comedians tell him about it. But it's getting low numbers right now. Like each episode probably gets maybe 500, 600 people listening across platforms. And that might sound interesting, but like in order to make a platform worth it, you have to be getting like tens of thousands of listens per episode. So we'll keep going, and hopefully it builds because I think it's very good. Hello. Why is Stephen Fry behind me? I don't know this joke. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be tricked again. Okay. You're saying I should check WhatsApp. You've messaged me. Let me see. You see, you almost got me. I literally opened my WhatsApp. You did not message me. Is Mo Gilligan in the WhatsApp? Mo Gilligan is not. Nice guess, but no, Mo Gilligan is not in the one. Oh, Joe Kelly, you have a 13-year-old sense of humor. But that is where humor starts. So keep going with those jokes, but I won't be tricked again. No, Reg is not. Again, good try. I'm glad you enjoyed that joke. I'm glad you enjoyed that joke. Are you in the WhatsApp? Hello, people. What kind of music do I like? I like a wide variety. I love a lot of rap music, but kind of like more underground rap, like Brother Ali, Atmosphere, people like that more than like mainstream stuff about smacking my bitch up. I like people like Outcast. In terms of people who you would have heard of, Andre 3K, people like that. I like a lot of R&B. I like a lot of reggae. Kind of wide reason. I do listen to Tech Nine. Tech Nine is absolutely amazing. Tech Nine does amazing things with words. Do I do tours in different countries? Yes, I do. So I do tours in the UK, across Europe, across Asia, and across Africa. I don't really do America because it's very expensive to put on shows in America between the visas, the flights, and so on. So I'd need to sell them all out, and it maximizes risk. While if I do a show in Malawi or in Zambia, if I sell half the tickets, I've broken even and the rest is profit. If I do a show in New York, I need to sell 85% of the tickets before I start making profit. It just maximizes the risk. Australia I've been to, but again, it's a long way to go. So I only would go in a festival. What's the most offensive joke I've ever told? I'm not really an offensive comedian. So I'm not like a Jimmy Carr or Frankie Boyle or something like that. I mean, I've done jokes which have offended people. Like I did a joke on Britain's Got Talent. The crowd was very white. And I said 200 years ago, this would have been an auction. I don't think that's offensive. So I've made people go, oh, but I'm not offensive. I don't talk about those subjects which get people banned because that's not my nature. That's not what I'm up about. There are many different kinds of comedy, and my comedy is not offensive humor. But more power to those who enjoy that. It's just not for me. Uh, Shout out to Uganda. How are you doing in Uganda? Do I like the Glee Club in Birmingham? I do. It's one of the top 5 comedy clubs in the UK. If I was going to say the top 5 comedy clubs in the UK, I would say Hot Water Comedy in Liverpool, Comedy Store in London, Birmingham Glee Club, Comedia in Brighton, and red herring. I'm not sure who I'm going to give number 5, but those are definitely top 4. Hello. Hey, glad you enjoyed me on BGT. Oh, why haven't I been on live for a while? I was banned. I was tricked. I was tricked by a guest in one of my last lives. So in one of my last lives, a person said, how do I say this without getting banned again? A guy told me to say hello to his friend, but the names of his friend, the first name and the second name of his friend, if you said them together, said a very offensive phrase. And when I said that offensive phrase, TikTok discovered it and banned me for a week. So I was tricked. So I'm not gonna, if when people say hello to my friend, whatever, I'm gonna read carefully because I won't be tricked again. But that was, I'm sure that person was giggling a great deal. Do I know Jeff Innocent? Yes, I do. He's very, very talented, very funny, and very inspiring because he's getting his big break in his late 60s. The entertainment industry is obsessed with youth. Like just this week, I wanted to audition for SNL UK, Saturday Night Live UK, and in the brief, my agent was saying that they want young people, and I was like, I'm funnier than these young people. Shouldn't they want the funniest people? The industry is obsessed with youth, so it is very inspiring that someone like Jeff Innocent has got his break in his 60s. In his 60s. Hello. Have I done any show in London? I often do gigs in London. In fact, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm in London. The ones which you have the tickets you can go to are Friday and Saturday at the Comedy Store in Leicester Square, or because I'm doing 2 shows on each day at the Boat Show at the Embankment. So do check that out. I don't know. You're trying to get me, Hathan. I don't know why you want me to be banned, but yes, that is the way that people ban me. They put 2 words together, got me to say them, and then I was banned. But I don't know, like, I guess you get a momentary joy of I got that person banned, but why? Hello. You're boxing again soon. Good luck with the boxing, Suleiman. Good luck with the boxing. Hello. Um, no, it's fine. I guess it amuses people, but it's just that if it was a ban for an hour, but it's like a ban for a week. Not that it matters, not that streaming is really it matters, but it sells tickets for me, so it's still good for me to do every now and then. Like literally, I do these because um, I mention my gigs, people come to my gigs. It also just kind of gives me something to do when I've got late night energy. Today I had a great day. So today I wrote a chapter of my new book. The old book still hasn't been published. So rather than waiting around, I was listening to an author who said that he wrote 12 books before he started getting published. And he's one of the big worldwide bestsellers. And one of the mistakes I made is I wrote a book and then I've just been waiting as it's been the agent who bought it is trying to sell it, trying to sell it. And what I should have done is immediately I finished number one, write number two. As soon as I finish number two, write number three. And then I just keep giving them into the agent until he sells one. But I just put all my eggs in one basket because I think it's such a good book. But that's not the right approach. Um, what jobs did I do before I was a comedian? Asked Harry Leo. I did some programming. I did some web design. I did some horrible jobs like cleaning houses. I did data entry. I worked for a judge's round table doing editing and just general assistant work. I worked for UNAIDS in Ethiopia temporarily. I worked for ADF 2000 Africa Development Forum. So a bunch of odd jobs, but not anything that lucrative, which was why it was easy to quit it all and gamble on comedy. It's very hard to gamble on comedy when you've got a lucrative main job. Am I going back on Have I Got News for You? I will inevitably at some point. So this week I am on the news quiz. The news quiz this Thursday, I think it airs on Friday. So I often am doing satirical comedy, and Have I Got News for You is one of them. And well, I hope they liked my last two appearances, so I'll be back. I'll be back. Hello, I don't know who Daniel Cormier is. Did he trick me again? I don't think so. I don't think so. I should not say names. I should not say names because that's how they trick me and get me banned. Am I coming to Sheffield anytime soon? No. I was offered some gigs by the Memorial Hall, but the promoter made a rant about me years ago when he was drunk, and I just don't work for him. Maybe it's a bit petty, but yeah, I'm petty. I'll work for them again when I have no choice. When I go tour, I do the lead mill. I do the lead mill, so I'll be back there. Hello. Ask me questions. I'm here for maybe two or three more minutes, and then I've got to actually do some packing. Did I win Britain's Got Talent? I did not. I came third, but it still transformed my career. Winning would have been amazing. I would have won £250,000. But from doing it, I got a radio show. I'm now a person who's a fixture on some TV shows. I've had 3 comedy specials. I've been on Royal Variety and a bunch of stuff, and none of that would have happened without me doing Britain's Got Talent. So coming third did open all the doors. I remember when I came third, I was a little depressed. And at the after party, Simon Cowell saw me saying, he said, "Oh, you're upset, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "You're upset you didn't win." I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Don't worry. Tomorrow, see what happens to your phone." And he left, and I didn't know what he meant by that. And then the next day, I saw what he meant. My phone was ringing with loads of opportunities, a new agent, people wanting me on their shows. And I realized that if you're in the finalist, as long as you're in the top 10, the door is open. Preacher Lawson was a talented guy. We almost competed against each other because we both did Britain's Got Talent, the Champions edition, but we were on different days. I kind of wanted to be on the same day. I wish they did a only comedians all the comedians who've ever been on Britain's Got Talent fight each other. to see who's the ultimate funniest comedian. I think I know who'd win. I actually don't think I'd win, but I think I've got a good chance. I actually think the boy with tape on his face would win, but it would. I'd give him a run for his money. He's not taking it without having to fight. Okay. I've been live for 30 minutes. That I think is good enough. So I will say good night. I will say to Okule September, who asked what I think of Trevor Noah. I think he's a genius. He's one of the few actual geniuses I've gigged with who is ridiculously brilliant. In terms of the geniuses I've worked with, I would say Trevor Noah, Sarah Millican, Chris Rock. They're the only like live geniuses I've worked with. The others I've watched on television, but in terms of people I've performed with, where I'm like, I can't even try to be as funny as you. So there's 3 examples. Okay, good night, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. End stream. And here.